Well, good evening, or I should say good day, everyone, and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway. This show is not only about pageantry, but it's about fashion, modeling, entertainment, and even the business industry. And we have taken a little bit of a hiatus because we were in preparations for the 2022 Miss International World pageant, which took place last week on board the beautiful new Margaritaville at Sea. And before I get to my very exciting and special guest, as always, I have a few announcements that I would like to make. Remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel. This way you can view all the stories of Make Our World Your Runway and also the Global Trade Chamber success stories. Every Monday, some powerful women are on our success stories, and you're going to hear, as we always say, from scratch to success. And remember this, Volume 2 is now out for the 100 Successful Women in Business book. Amazing stories. And that was their theme this year, from scratch to success. I highly recommend picking up a copy of that book. It is available from Amazon, and you are going to read stories about some of the most amazing women. And I say that literally because I was in Volume 1, and these women have stories to tell, not only about their successes, but about their failures and the failures that they've turned into success, and they come from the heart. So Volume 2 is now available. And of course, very soon we're going to be announcing the plans for 2023, where the 100 Successful Women in Business Conference will be taking place. And then, of course, Volume 3 book as well. And coming in May, the Global Trade Chamber is going to be doing a 4-day convention in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That is one you do not want to miss. In the beautiful heart of San Juan, going to be very exciting. 4 days to network with some major top companies. So it is coming up in May, and I'm sure we will have the dates very soon for you. But the Global Trade Chamber Convention in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I am over the top excited today because I have two very special guests. As I said, we just did the Miss International World 2022 pageant, and we could not be more prouder of who took the title of Miss International World and Teen International World. These ladies are absolutely amazing. It's going to be a powerhouse year with a mother and daughter combination, a very first for Miss International World. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Hunter Ray, the new reigning Miss International World, and her daughter, Landyn Exarhos, Teen International World. Ladies, welcome to Make Our World Your Runway. Oh my God. Amazing. You know, I don't think it's worn off on me yet that the two of you have won two main titles in our world organization. So congratulations. And, you know, everyone is still saying to me, with this mother-daughter combination, it's going to be a powerhouse year.
Well, I got to tell you, I just kind of got chills hearing you say our names and the titles together. Because I think this is the first official time that it was done. So I kind of got these goosebumps. So thank you. We're excited.
Yeah, I know. And I look at the banners, look at the crowns. I mean, you know, kind of, I don't score, okay? But I get a chance to look at the scores and a feel for where the judges were going. And right from interview, I had this premonition, and usually my premonitions are pretty good, that you were going to be the next Miss International World, and Landyn, of course, was going to take the team. But we wanted to see how the competition was going to evolve and how the judges, you know, they're going to perceive the swimwear competition and the gown. But coming even out of swimwear, and we were putting the scores in, we were saying, my God, this is a close competition. But then after a while, you guys just ran away with it. And I was like, well, there it was. My premonitions were correct.
Well, and I had a premonition about Landyn, but I think that's a maternal thing. Myself, I was doing it so that I could spend time with her because we do all these appearances together. And so that's what's really exciting about this next year is like we get to do it together.
Exactly. You guys get to do it together. And Landyn, speaking of you, you've had a fabulous year. I mean, you were a top model of the year. You've gone to Greece. You were on the cover of Supermodels magazine. You've been on billboards. So what was that like for you? I knew we threw a lot at you, but how did you feel with that? And what was that like?
It was just amazing. I didn't expect it at all. And then it just started coming and it just kept coming. And I was like, wow, it's just, and I just had to come back the next year because I just had an amazing year. And I'm excited to have another amazing year.
That's what I feel like this was all meant to be because I don't know that the viewers will know this, but Landyn had competed the year before and didn't win. And so she had an entire year to grow as a person and, you know, as a teen with the help of Teen International World. You guys gave her so many opportunities, even when she didn't win the whole title. So, you know, I personally want to thank you because I've watched her, I'm going to cry. I've watched her grow into, you know, not just a child, because I feel like when she went and competed last year, she was a child competing. She's growing into a woman that I am so proud of. And it was a group effort. Like,
we're also proud of her. I mean, I watched her last year when she competed and you weren't there. I think had you been there, it might have been a difference, but she was a child but she did a great job, even though you were not there. Her dad was there. But this year we watched her grow. I mean, she's a totally, totally different person. I mean, Landyn, what's your height? 5'9" or 5'10"?
5'9".
5'9", yeah. And I mean, at your age to be 5'9", I mean, you're probably going to be 5'11", 6 foot. But I would say 5'11" is good. Yeah, exactly.
And 5'11". I think we're good at 5'11".
Yeah, 5'11". Yeah, probably the max. But
I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to keep growing. Well, at that height, you know what? You will probably make it in the world of New York City, the modeling arena there, and of course, New York Fashion Week, because they love height. Okay. Anybody that's 5'11" or 6 foot is a woman commands the runway in New York City. And if that's what you want to do, that's the runway you've got to command. Okay. And then before you know what, you're going to be with the Lagerfelds or the Yves Saint Laurents and companies like that. Okay. Where they're going to pick up the phone and call you. All right. And I could definitely see you on Next Top Model, Project Runway. I mean, that's the things that we definitely should get you on.
Right. Well, you've provided so many opportunities for her over the last year. I mean, I'm not sure if the viewers know. I mean, she did get to go do New York Fashion Week twice.
Yes.
Because of the system and the sisterhood. And that's what I really love is like this, like I have pageant experience. I don't have high fashion. And what was nice about this program is all of your queens from last year they step up. And that's what we're looking for this year is because I want to step up. I want to be able to, Landyn's judging, so Landyn can't help, but I want to be able to coach the girls coming in of, you know, what they need to look for and what you know, the judges are looking for. And you kind of did that for her, not necessarily in the pageant, but in the professional modeling world. And so, you know, her growth is really attributed to you actually caring. So as a mom, I want to thank you for that. I'm going to cry again. Got to keep tearing up. Well, the opportunities are endless.
Well, thank you. But I mean, when with Landyn, look exactly what I really have to work with. I mean, you know, the minute she steps out, she goes on the stage. I mean, Winterfest, that was a prime example where you had Team Florida and you had Landyn, and people were going more up to Landyn. And when I saw that, I said, that's it. I said, this girl is the next big superstar. You know, her and Walina really made a hit with Supermodels Unlimited. Okay. Absolutely. And I know Supermodels does have their eye on her, and they want us to get back involved with their now 23rd anniversary magazine fashion show in Miami, which I believe is coming up in March. but there's just a wealth of opportunities out there. People always ask me what Miss International World and Miss Latina is all about. And I said, look, it's our opportunities that are going to grow into those prize packages. Okay. You could tell a girl, well, I got a prize package worth $10,000, $20,000. But when you add it up, what is it really worth? But if you put a girl on a magazine, on the cover of a magazine, and she gets a chance to walk Miami Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, well, now, okay, that's really opening a door, because at her age, to be on a cover of a magazine is unbelievable. Okay. And I'm sure we'll find other magazines.
3. We just were on.
Yes, I was just going to mention that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The opportunities are really what this is about, and giving back to the community. And that's what I love about you, is you really do, help us, be in the community and have a voice. And that's what this does, is it gives us a voice. So
exactly.
It's not just about modeling. You've got a lot of work to do.
Landyn, what was the name of that magazine again? I think it was Crown and Sash.
Crown and Sash.
Yeah, it's a UK magazine. So yeah, which was amazing. So we've gone.
That was out of London. Yeah, I had a little bit of an opportunity to work with them when I was there in August. Not much, okay, because they wanted to see what was going on with 100 Successful Women. They are a great magazine, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get involved with them this year. Even I'm sure they might have some teams that they might be able to send us. I know One Model Management in England is very interested in working with us. So I've already kind of planted the seeds on the overseas side as well.
Awesome. Yeah, they're amazing. What was the other cover you did? Was it Art and Beauty magazine? She was on the cover of. So it's been an amazing run, and it's just starting.
Yes, it's just starting. But Hunter, I know we've got a lot with Landyn, but I know there's things you want to do. Coaching the girls, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Because as you and I have spoken about, a lot of girls come into this competition but don't really know. So I think I want our viewers to hear is that, yes, we want our girls to model because that does open doors. But I want you to explain the difference between pageantry and modeling, because that's where so many girls get very misconstrued.
Well, and the viewers don't know, I have a long history in pageantry. I was Miss Virginia USA, a finalist at Miss USA. I went on, after I was married, to be Mrs. Florida, Mrs. North America, Mrs. Galaxy. Then I was Mrs. Florida, Mrs. USA, first runner-up in Mrs. Universe in Russia. So, my background is pageantry. Right. What I love about this competition that is completely different, and one of the reasons that after Landyn didn't win last year, one of the reasons we stayed, because a lot of times people jump from system to system. You're different because you invest in the girls. This is more than just modeling. It's more than just pageantry. It's about the women that are involved. And so one of the things I want to get across to the viewers is you don't have to have a history in trade. You don't have to have a history in modeling. It's so much more. I mean, I'm 47 years old. And I was able to take the main title because you're looking for more than just what you're born with and youth. You're looking for the total package. And so a lot of the women that were competing are professionals. And a lot of the women competing have never been in a pageant before. And that's what, as Miss International World, I feel like it's my duty to really embrace the women that, they have a history, they've done, coaches, and they've competed in a lot of pageants. But also I want to have, the girl next door, the mom, again, the professional, the teen that says, oh my God, I love Landyn. She's out doing stuff in the community. And I want to do stuff in the community. And this is a way to do it. Those are the girls I want and the women I want to encourage, because I'm going to do monthly Zoom meetings. I'm going to do one-on-one training with them. Nobody does that. And to me, as the title holder, that should be what you do. My background is in journalism. You know that. I've been, locally. I was on nationally on Designing Spaces. So it is about promoting yourself. And that's the one piece that I think a lot of women this year that would have done really, really well, they didn't have that piece. So I want to do the media training. I want to do the, it's more than just, coming up with the right answers, because that's the one thing that we did, and I think why she scored so high on interview, it's like, I'm not going to prep you and ask you questions. If you don't know the answers already because of your life, and that's what, I want to be able to train these girls. You don't have to come up and have the perfect answer, but you have to be you. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited about doing that. And Landyn's going to have to sit on the back burner since she's judging next year. But I am going to offer that to all the girls that were there, all the girls coming in, because that's what makes us different. It's about a sisterhood.
Exactly. And you just said something, because many years ago when I was studying music, okay, and going into the entertainment industry, all right, studying the opera was one thing. The opera is very, very difficult, okay? And with the opera, you're actually telling a story. It's just you're singing it, but it is a story. It's usually about a story of somebody's life and how they got started in the back hills of Rome or something like that. But when I switched over, when I crossed over, okay, into more of the pop, now I had to get different instruction, okay? And I had an instructor that she decided to write lines for me, because one thing she did say that was correct, that if you just get up there and sing, it could be very boring. You got to learn how to interact with the audience and talk to the audience. No problem. But she wrote lines for me. And the first time my husband heard it, he said, throw that stuff out. He said, that is not you. He said, that's somebody else, and it's very canned. He said, when you get up there and take that mic, just say what you feel. Be yourself. He said, because if you're going to try to be somebody else, you're going to fail. And he was right. And that's why today I tell people, don't give me a script. Give me the gist of what you want to talk about, and I'll take it from there. And if you notice, sometimes what I will do, I will talk a little bit more to the audience, because that gives me a chance to feel that audience, to know what they want. Okay. So I stall it a little bit, but now they're starting to feel comfortable with me, and I'm feeling comfortable with them. And when I do that, now my flow of conversation is even better, because now I'm more relaxed. So you're right about that. Be yourself, because if you're not, it doesn't matter who's judging. People are going to see through that. That's a very good point.
They do. It's sensory. People don't like you because of what you say. They like you because how you make them feel, whether you're engaged.
Exactly.
And that's what we do every day. That's what kills me about pageantry is there's so many robots because they think they have to be a certain way. And it's like with her, I'm like, I don't care what you say. Be a teenager, pop your pimples if you have to, like whatever, like just be you. And I think that's what came across in that. And I know you said, like, for me, in my interview, I had a perfect score, and you had never seen anybody do that before. And it was because I was just me. We were in the middle of a photo shoot that you set up at the Versace mansion, and they were walking behind me. I'm like, photographers, sorry guys. Instead of going, oh my gosh. So it's like, it's not rocket science. It's actually the opposite. It's actually just being you. So it's like, we're excited to be able, again, I get to do it, you don't, to be able to help the girls really come out of their shell. I think you are going to have a really tough competition next year.
Yes, it is.
Because if we give all the girls these secret nuggets, they're all going to come in and just blow the judges away. So that's what excites me. It's like the empowering of all of the class next year is what kind of gets me really excited.
Yeah, and it is. And it's so funny because a lot of times, even in the town here, when they have like charity fashion shows and it's men, because my husband Al used to model, they'll call him in and they want him to be a coach. And the first thing he says to me, I got a bunch of robots up there, Angela. And I'm like, what do you mean? So I can't believe the way they're walking. They're so afraid of the runway. I tell these guys, be yourself. You got a six-pack, hit it, whatever, but be yourself up there. And I'll never forget one time, there was a young fella working in Publix, and he really wanted a model. My husband took him under his wing. Within a half hour, he had this guy walking like a pro. Because he said to him, I don't know what you learned, and I don't know where you've been. Throw it out. He said, because now I'm going to show you the way it's supposed to be done. And it's so funny because if you ever watch Al, and we always call him Big Al, he was known in the telecoms industry. If you just look at Al, you notice how nonchalant he just even walks naturally. That's one of the things I still notice about him. Okay. Even when I notice him walking in the area here, and he said to me, that's the way you should be, even on a runway. Be yourself, be nonchalant. He's because people are going to see through being a robot. So you're
Right, and
correct.
they're attracted to you. And Al is one of those energies. When he walks in a room, everybody feels comfortable. You feel like you've
Yes.
known him forever. So I mean, that's a gift.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a gift because just recently, somebody at the cruise line who used to work with Al in telecoms, and the owner of the cruise line said, "What's Al Basilico all about?" He said, "What is he about?" He says, "I'm going to say one thing: a man of integrity." He said, "But one of the most nicest people you ever wanted to meet." And Kevin turned around and said, "Well, then that's good enough for me." And Al is a talent. I said to him, "I don't know how you had a 4-hour day commute, kept your integrity, and still sold." He says, "It's just something," he said, "I had to do." But he did it naturally. And he used to go into all his accounts. And if there was a woman receptionist sitting there, you know what his line was? "When do you want to run away with me?" And he used to capture them all the time. Do you know how we met me? We met on the train, okay, going to New York. He asked me if the seat was taken, and I said no. And then he came back and he said, "Would you like some candy, little girl?" You know, Al is a character, okay?
He is a
Today,
character.
he couldn't use that line on me. But back then, yeah, I guess that's the way he broke the ice.
Himself on it.
Yeah, exactly. So
He's got new improved lines now that you keep falling for, I'm sure.
yeah, he's got no, he knows that. He knows I don't fall for any lines. Okay. So I told him straight out. I said, nope. I said, you could try any line you want on me. I said, but you know what? Forget it. It doesn't work. Okay. So I think he just says, okay. He just passes everything on to me and says, let her handle it. He's because I can't get one over her.
Right.
So
Right.
and what you said before about how I open doors, you know, and create opportunities, that's another thing Alice said to me. He said, one thing I'll say about you, when you get something in that pea brain of yours, you're going to execute it and make it go a long way. I said, well, that's my personality. But what what are some of the things that both of you as a mother and daughter want to accomplish this year?
I mean, so I have a program and it's called Girls Camp, and we do
Yes.
it every year. It's been 10 years now, and we had to go virtual since COVID and everything. But we really want to get that out there and get as many girls as
Internationally.
we can. Right.
Yeah.
Like now we can do it internationally. But I don't know. It's just getting those girls out there and really helping them because it's made a lot of difference to a lot of girls that we know. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going
No,
to
go
say one of the things I see. I mean, there's things we do every day, like with the hurricane just hitting Florida. You know, we're doing collections right now. I'm FEMA certified, so I'm actually going to go down there and do some hands-on stuff. But it's you know, there's things that we do that are just like physical. Like I can only do so much, she can only do so much if we're using our hands.
Right.
What I love about, you know, the concept of Girls Camp and really utilizing these titles to get attention and to raise awareness is that, you know, we're not perfect. Like we, you know, it looks like it. And I think there's a lot of pressure on women now to look a certain way, be a certain way. And so that's kind of a bigger global purpose that I think we want to set out to do, probably first through Camp for Girls, you know, but I think there's other avenues that we can kind of spread the message quicker.
Right.
If we're just doing the hands-on stuff. So it's kind of like, I always say, because, you know, I founded the National Humane Society, and one of our things, and I think it kind of equates to this bigger global message for women, is that I would always say, you know, with the National Humane Society, you have all these rescuers that come in, and there's somebody standing at the top of a river, and somebody's throwing puppies and kittens down. So all these rescuers are grabbing the puppies and kittens, and they're rescuing them one at a time. But somebody has to go up to the top where the puppies and kittens are being thrown in and stop it. And so that's what I feel like Landyn and I can do for like female empowerment. We can do, you know, I have a lot of people that we work with that we do very individual things. But I think with these titles now, we can go to the top and say, look, like, let's stop this as a whole, like as a society's whole. And so that's a really powerful, message, and kind of, what drives us. And I think what's going to be kind of our motto this year. And that's why I want to start with, the women, is if we can empower all the women that are coming in to this system, then those women can go out and empower other people. It's kind of like this ripple effect. So that's
Right.
a domino effect. There you go.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's a domino effect. Yep.
Yeah, it's really wanting to give people the tools from the top so that they can go out and make a difference. Because I think we're a lot more powerful as a group.
Right. And by next week, I'm probably going to have a couple of girls that you can do a Zoom call with. And
Awesome.
You're right. It's a total picture. It is about beauty. But I always say it's not only wearing the crown here, it's wearing the crown right here. Okay.
Right.
And what you talked about, if it has to do with animals, definitely get me involved. Okay. I always say I got to win the lottery and buy a house for all these stray kittens and dogs that are out there. In fact, there was a gentleman somewhere down in Miami. He was from the Middle East, and he had a house. He had two, and one of them was on the Intracoastal. That was a house for all the dogs and the cats. And you used to see sunglasses on the cats sitting out there sunning themselves by the pool. I said, "Oh, that's me. I want to work at that house," because I've been seeing around my neighborhood, and I guess it's due to COVID and also hurricanes. Even in my neighborhood, a lot of stray cats. And I live right next door to an animal hospital, so I've been running over to the animal hospital and saying, "Listen, come on my property," because there's been a lot of stray animals, and you really feel bad for them because some of them have the chips, so they were able to get them back to their owners, but the ones that don't, and my heart just goes out. I mean, I had one that came on my patio the other day, and luckily had a chip, so we were able to get it to its owner. But they talk about human beings, and I'll tell you something that I did, and this goes back sometime in August. I was going down Atlantic Boulevard, and it's a very famous boulevard here in Boynton Beach. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of stores. They also have outside entertainment. And from the corner of my eye, I saw this woman sitting on a corner. And she had a cart. And she had this little stuffed animal. And I love stuffed animals, okay? I'm a big sap for that. And I saw this young girl speaking to her and taking money out of her pocket. So I decided to cross the street, and I went over there. And she said, "This stuffed animal and this cart is all I have to my name." And it really broke my heart. And I saw this priest coming up. And he said, "She's been here night after night." And I said, "Does anybody know about the 211 crisis center, the call center?" And they said, "No." I said, "Okay, so here's what I'm going to do." And I gave this woman some money. I called the 211 crisis center because my mother used to work there. They went out there. They saw her. And now they found her a place to live. She's no longer on the street. Okay.
Awesome.
And that's the things that I like to do. I mean, she just got to me when she said, "This stuffed animal and this cart is all I have." And the crisis center will check it out to see if someone is real. And that's all she had. Yeah. Now they've got clothes donated to her, Women for Success. I heard they're even going to get her a little job. So they're giving this woman her life back. Okay.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. Okay.
And
Helping
it's because
people.
you took a minute and you cared. And sometimes that's all it takes, is just a minute. Action creates a reaction.
Exactly.
And so, if more
exactly. You know what I say? Yeah. You know what I say? This could happen to me. I could be here today, and God knows what turn of events are going to be. And tomorrow, maybe that could be me down on the street scratching for my last dollar, or looking in a garbage can saying, "Hey, I need to get some food." You never know. So, I mean, there are some
right now of the hurricane. I mean, there are people that are displaced. They don't, they had something one day and the next day they have nothing. So it can happen because of natural disasters that we can't do anything about. So I think it's about us all doing just simple acts like you did that make the difference. And that's really kind of what's been instilled with Landyn since she's been really little. Can I tell? Oh, you know, speaking of stuffed animals, I want to do a brag story on Landyn. So she was probably, it's a really good story. She was probably 4 or 5 years old. I was Mrs. Galaxy at the time, and I was going over to Orlando to go work at a women's shelter. And I was doing, you know, the empowerment stuff and just kind of like helping them get their lives together. And so I was trying to explain to a 4-year-old what a women's shelter is, you know, because it was one that had children as well. And so in my explanation, I said to her, well, you know, they don't have their own beds. And so they all stay together until they can get their own beds. And that's kind of how I explained it. And her response was, well, I don't understand that. Can't we just buy them beds? And I was like, baby, it's not that easy. Like, we can't just buy them beds. And she's like, so then we started talking about the kids. And she ended up going into her room, her playroom. And God, it was shortly after Christmas, because I remember things were still in the wrap, like in the packages. And she's still in the car with everything she had. And this doesn't say great things about me, but I kind of had a gut reaction. I'm like, oh, I just bought her that stuff for Christmas. Like, what is she doing? And then I stopped and I went, here's a little girl, right, with the purest heart, wanting to give because she wanted to help these kids.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so we ended up loading both brand new toys, used toys. The entire trunk was full. The entire car was full. Went to the shelter, you know, bonded with the kids. And then at the end said, hey, by the way, come out and you get to take whatever you want. And each kid got to take one at a time. So, you know, and then they would take another one, and it cycled through until everything was gone. And that's what the world is about. Like, we're born with a natural instinct to love and to give. And then people are hardened. And if more people could go back to that instinct of a 4-year-old child wanting just to help,
beautiful.
the world would be a better place. And that's what she's done now. Another 10 years. For 14 years, this kid has just given. So I'm excited to have her kind of empowered to give on a bigger scale. And it's infectious.
No. Landyn's got a great heart. Landyn really does. Landyn, what was going through your mind when we called out your name when you won Teen International World?
Oh my God. I was holding everybody's hands backstage, and there was only so it was split in half. We were all split. We were all dancing, and we split. And there was only 4 people on my side, and then everybody else was on the other side. I was like, and my mom wasn't there too.
I was on the other side.
She was on the other side. And I was like, oh my God. And then you're like, actually, we're going to switch it up. We're going to do teen first. I was like, what? And I was like, okay, here we go. Oh my God. It was an amazing feeling. I was just so thankful and so excited.
I know. I saw the look on your face. Hunter, when I called her name, I can imagine the look on your face.
Well, I actually ran out into the audience because I'm a mom. I probably shouldn't have done that. Never mind.
No, it was great.
Don't tell the director that I did that. But no, I did. I ran out. I broke the rule out, and I'm trying to video from the side and not get caught. So no, I think I was more excited for her than I was for myself. Because but she has worked so hard.
I saw the reaction in your face. I know when I said I need to call Hunter Ray, and then I called Bahamas to the stage, and I saw the look, and I said, and Lamont, you know, Lamont is something else. I'm looking at Lamont, and he's over there like, he's like this. So I said, like I said, I don't know who wins until I get that envelope, okay? But Lamont, I think he knew all along, okay, because he was one of the judges and hosting. So, I mean, just to see the two of you on stage was absolutely amazing, okay? So we're just
India was amazing too. So like when I was standing there with her hand to hand, I thought, whichever one wins, you've got a great queen. And then obviously first runner up is given the global title. So you have 2 amazing queens that are going to work hard. So you really were in a win-win. Like it didn't matter who won because you've got 2 girls going out there that are going to really, really work hard. But yeah.
And this is the first time we've actually, well, you know what? This is the second time Bahamas has won a title because Amora Robinson, who represented the Bahamas a few years ago, took Teen International World. Okay. So
And
now
she is taking New York by storm. Like I keep
yes, I
seeing
saw that.
oh my gosh, it's amazing. I mean, runway after runway after modeling gigs. And, you know, she wasn't seasoned, I don't think, when she came in either. And she has grown.
She wasn't.
Right. So seeing her, I'm excited for her. Selfishly
Exactly.
going, yay.
Because I know where Ramora came from. And she was with John Casablancas. And, you know, Amy
Right.
Dolly was coaching her and did a great job.
Amazing.
But I watched Ramora grow. And I watched her when she got the title. I watched her grow even more. Okay. I think she might have been a little bit older than Landyn when she got the title, but she was still in high school. And then she started getting involved with New York Fashion Week and things like that. And I'm trying to convince Amora, because she does have residency in the Bahamas, that she should go to the Bahamas, compete there, and go to Miss Universe. And she keeps saying,
she would do amazing.
yeah, you know what she says to me? Well, what if they don't like me? I said, are you kidding?
Who doesn't like her?
I know. And especially now that we know the director, Tony, I think he would take Amora in a minute to compete. In a minute. So that's something I want to work on Amora, because I think she would have a good chance of winning Bahamas and going to Miss Universe.
She would. You need to communicate with her, kind of put the pressure teen to teen with her.
Yep.
Exactly. So I know you guys have so many things that you want to do, but long range plans, what do you have? What do you feel will be this year for long range plans?
Long range.
That's
short range, long range. I think it's all kind of
I mean,
the
I
same.
really want to get into the modeling world a lot more and definitely give back to the community a lot more than I have, even more, especially with this title.
You do a lot.
I mean,
I'm like, we're not going to get to sleep, Angela. There's going to be no sleeping.
I never sleep. I got people that text me at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm texting back. So, I mean, I do sleep a little bit, but while I'm sleeping, my mind is still going. Okay. Yeah. And there's so many things that I'm involved with. So I know exactly what you're saying. You know, I try to stay more involved with the community. And when you talked about women's empowerment, one of the things that Kshatra and I spoke about, and I will follow up with next year, is that ambassadorship to the United Nations. Because if I could get all of us to get a trip to New York and get to the United Nations, they're really all about women's empowerment. So just like you say, if you coach the girls, and we do a lot of community service this year, they're going to look at that. And I think that's really going to take us to the next level.
Oh, I agree. And like you said, it's a standout because, like I said, sometimes pageantry gets a reputation, which really is not true. Most of the girls that are involved in pageantry are in it for the right reasons and really making a difference. But I think really getting the women out there and, you know, in an impactful way, which, you know, one of the things I had the most trouble with when I was originally crowned, like going way back when, was that, you know, I never wanted to self-promote because it always felt wrong, or like, I don't want to tell people what I'm doing because I'm doing it for the right reasons. Well, if you don't tell people what you're out there doing, then nobody knows you're doing it. And so you can't quietly make a difference. You have to make a difference in a very loud and profound way. And I think that's one of the lessons I want to teach to the girls is, you know, you may go every single week and volunteer and, you know, do food banks and do amazing things. But if you don't tell people, it's not contagious. It doesn't grow. So that's kind of, I think, long-term goal for me to really teach the women how to promote because it helps the causes. I think on a personal note, one of the things that we did this year in anticipation of everything that was happening, like with the New York Fashion Week, she was having to take off of school. So this year, Landyn is actually homeschooled so that we can travel everywhere and be available at the drop of a dime. So anybody out there watching, we are ready. We have our crowns packed and we will travel. So I think that's the long-term goal, is to really get, just get the word out there and help
crowd will travel.
Yep. Help.
Exactly. Like the American Express card. American Express have that card. We'll definitely travel.
Exactly. And that's kind of how we feel And then she's got some personal stuff. I know you know about it, and if you want to tell them about the soap that we're doing. So this is how we're going to pay for this stuff.
Well, about, I guess, a year ago,
Yeah,
a year and a half ago, I came up with the idea for my brother. When COVID hit, he was really dirty and he did not want to take care of himself. With the germs, you got to. And so I wanted to find like a fun way to stay clean. So we had like leftover red hot candies, and we put them in soap, and when you wash them, it turns red. So that's when I kind of got the idea. And so basically it's a soap that changes color after 20 seconds to alert you that you wash your hands for the correct amount of time for CDC. So
we're still in the patent pending process.
Great.
Yeah, we've done some, smaller sales for, locally. So we've been able to trademark Color Me Clean in 20 second soap. So, and she does all this stuff herself. Like when we went through the trademark, I'm an attorney, but I was like, look, it's not difficult. Here's the website. Let's follow the rules. And, so she's a little entrepreneur. I said, I think you were.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We have an entrepreneur on our hands, which is excellent. Yeah.
We do. So we're trying to kind of balance that with our obligations this year. And I think they kind of all go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, I mean, everything goes hand in hand. Well, Landyn, you are a bundle of joy in a 5'9" package. You're the all around girls. Well, ladies, it has been such a pleasure to have the both of you on my show today. Anytime you want to come back, you have an idea, you just let me know. As we say, make our world your runway. It is always open. So I am looking forward to a fun-filled powerhouse year. I agree that when we get girls next year, the judges are not going to know which way to go. It's going to be close. I could see Lamont there flipping a coin, as always. Okay. But it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And again, we are always here for the both of you. So, like I said, thank you so much for making
Angela,
our world.
Thank you. I think we owe her a thank you because you've created such an incredible platform for us to do the work. So.
And it's going to be a lot more. So as you said, no sleep. Same thing with me, no sleep. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to get out there and start running with the both of you. So have a great day and a great weekend. And I know we're going to speak soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a great mother and daughter combination. Landyn Exarhos, Teen International World, and Hunter Ray, Miss International World. And as always, stay tuned because every week we have a fascinating guest on Make Our World Your Runway. Thank you for watching. God bless, and we'll see you soon.